Hello, Serge here from the backyard driving range. All right, today we have a question that came in from John Butcher. And he says, "Hi Serge, I have followed your teaching for over a year and have profited from your tips, but I'm not sure that swinging vertically up the tree, as you say, is anatomically correct. Isn't the plane really being established based on proper shoulder elevation, flexion of the right elbow, and rotation? And doesn't this rotary swing take all the timing out of the motion and allow us to move anatomically to a powerful position to unload? Maybe we just have different ways of swinging, but I have done better with this simpler backswing. It sets the club on its proper plane. There is no guesswork as to how vertical the club needs to be. My club is still light, especially when it comes down into the slot, and isn't that what matters? Thanks, John, Columbia, Missouri." Well, John, you can try to change all the facts of physics, the facts of nature, the facts of human physiology and anatomy you want, but in the end, you can change it to what you want, but it doesn't make it right. What makes it right is what it is, and what it is the number one law is physics is gravity. And the swing you're describing, the only thing I can surmise from your middle paragraph here was where you start talking about, doesn't this rotary swing take all the timing out of motion and allow us to move anatomically to a powerful position to unload? You're admitting it's rotary. If it's rotary and you're talking about that your right arm is creating the plane and everything else, and you're calling the club light, well, there's only one way to check if a club is light. Hold it up, and if the club falls straight down to the ground, if you can stand here and look at a totally opposite direction and let go, and if you can stand here and look at a totally opposite direction and let go, and it goes anywhere but straight down, you are not light. So you can call light what you want, but light is light when it's straight up and down, or pretty darn close to it. I can get all the way over here, but my club still falls all the way down. Look at the angle it's still on. I can get all the way there, but you notice it doesn't fall as far down. You're going to go a little bit past that, and there it goes. All right? So light is light. And your anatomy, your physiology and your anatomy has only one way to swing your arms properly. They're designed to swing one way and one way only, in front of your body. And if you're talking about the right elbow, as you called it, isn't the plane being established based on proper shoulder elevation, flexion of the right elbow, and rotation? What does flexion mean? How much is your arm flexing? In peak performance, we believe it never goes back past the right angle. In a rotational swing, they call this a flying right elbow. They call this a flying right elbow forever, but not anymore. It's still a flying right elbow, but this isn't. It's still, now they're letting it go away, but they want the right elbow down. Well, if you're holding your club up here and you put your right elbow in that position, where does the club go? It goes laid off. Now you might say, yeah, the club comes right into the slot, but when you come into the slot, you're coming in from way inside, because if you had a rotary swing and turn too much, you're deep. You're in what I call a sacred burial ground. So you have to come back in front. And then to hit the ball, you're doing what I call lag, drag, hold, block. Because if you come in from here and you keep holding on, you're gonna hit everything right into the house, my house over there, or into right field if you're on a golf course. And if a guy's really doing that bad, I don't want to be the guy standing right over there on the driving range on the next mat over there if a guy's coming in here like this. So what you got to do is you got to swing out, turn out of the way, and come through, and you got to hold and on like this, in many cases with an arching left wrist, and you hold the club straight, and you never get in the forward mid toe up. I saw a video from a rotational swinger, and he had this thing sticking up in front of him, and he said and when he came through and came toe up like this, he said, that's wrong. You want to be holding up like this. So your whole right side's pushing through the ball like that. And when you take your right arm, even if you just stand here without a golf club, and you take your right arm and you go like that and hold it, what do you feel? Right here from the top of your head all the way down through the back of your neck, behind your ear, down into from your neck into your shoulder, all the way down, it goes right to there with total, everything is just locked up. And we're at a right angle here. This might be a right angle, but many rotational swingers, when they get up here, they go past right angle. So if you're going past right angle, you have sort of a collapse there. And what collapses is going to expand. All right? We're at 3/4 limited turn swing. You can say all you want and try to say that rotational is correct, but it is not anatomically correct. And you're talking about path and plane. You're swinging on a plane where you say, well, you want the shaft, the shaft here, you want to come up on, take it away on the shaft plane and come up to what they call the shoulder plane over here. and then return back to the shaft plane, swing through on the shaft plane, and come back up to the shoulder plane. They call that the one-plane swing. Why? Because they say the club and the arm is on the same plane. Well, hello, what about this? I start right here at address. I'm going to put my hand here like this. All right? I'm going to start right here. I'm going to come to here. I'm going to come all the way up to there like you say. Right? So there it is. It hasn't changed. Well, tell me if anything's changed when I just go to vertical like this. The relationship here hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is the relationship of the shaft and the center of my arm to the ground. So the rotational people can make all the claims they want, and they can try to change the rules, but anatomy is anatomy, physiology is physiology, and physics is physics. And you can try to bend them any way you want to fit what you want to believe, but it isn't there. And last but not least, when you swing your arms in front of your body, they always cross at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and the only way that really basically happens easily and correctly is when you just hands up here, come down address. Come here, come right back to where they were. They always meet in the middle. You can clap them here and there. And that's what release is, coming from toe up to square, which is toe out, and then go up, toe up on that side, and come here. Swinging, that's the only way your arms swing in front of your body. When you start going around and laying the club off, you're defying your anatomy, because as soon as you go that way, the forward arm starts to break and rotate. You can't deny it. That's just to make your arm go around your body. It's going to break and rotate, and that's setting the club flat and laid off. The only way your arms can stay perpendicular, when you swing your arms up and down, your hands stay perpendicular to the ground. So that's why vertical is vertical, and that's why impact with rotation is easy. So again, I see this all the time. Physics, physiology, anatomy are all sciences. You study them, and then you live by them, because they were the way God created the world to turn. Physics was here before anything living and breathing. And when God created anything that's living and breathing, and everything on this earth functions and relates to and has to function in accordance with physics and the laws of physics: gravity, acceleration, momentum, action, reaction, and a host of other ones. And they all work together in harmony. And if you want to play better golf, use your body the way it was designed, which is designed to perform at its optimum in harmony with the laws of physics. And a club over here with a big turn is not in harmony with physics. And it's not going to therefore be in harmony with having the optimum impact position where the hands square the club up, the arms, I should say the arm, because it's the whole unit from the finger to the shoulder, squares the club up at impact for a dead solid impact square club, and up to the target, provided we're lined up correctly. All right, so you bring up some good arguments. Always arguments come up, but the arguments are going to have holes shot through them because they don't conform to the anatomical design of the body and in the way the body is designed to swing in harmony with physics. Your comments sound great. Shoulder elevation, flexion of the right elbow. Well, we got flexion of the right elbow, and we keep our elbows at this angle to keep the club vertical. So it just doesn't hold the test of physics, physiology, and anatomy with the rotational swing. You can try to bring all the fancy words, do everything you want, but it doesn't hold the test standing up to science. Physics, physiology, and anatomy. All right, well, that's it for the search for today. Kind of, guess, standing up and calling it like it is, because physics is on peak performance side, not rotational. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Physics, physiology, anatomy calls for the 3/4 limited turn, vertical peak performance golf swing. If you want to hit the ball optimally for science and the way it was all meant to be. And as you know, all of you doing it, hitting it more solid, straight, and longer, and helping you shoot those lower scores. That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.